the show starts, notification will let you know that we're doing this every morning, 7:30. Speaking of 7:30, if you're awake right now and you're saying, this is an odd feeling, it could be the very thing known as daylight savings that's going on. And it caught me by surprise this morning. The alarm went off on my phone to wake me up, 5 a.m., walked out to the kitchen and living room area to get some coffee going, and both the microwave and the stove said 4 o'clock. And so I'm going to actually talk to Anthony about this. So Anthony, you know, he's driving the show this morning. How was that for you this morning? You said you didn't notice, but you were feeling weird this morning. Yep. And Anthony didn't realize that we lost that hour.
Tired to realize it was even darker.
There's a such thing as being too tired to realize that it is daylight savings, and the time change again that happens November 5th. And but this one snuck up on me. I was really good about this. But if you're wondering about that, it's dark outside for that morning commute. A lot of people are driving out there, and it was confusing this morning for me to hear cars driving by as dark as it seemed outside. And it took me a while to kind of shake it off and realize between my phone and the other timekeeping devices at my home they weren't all in sync at all. Yeah, I've got the clock on the wall with the hands, and you put the AA batteries in there. There's the bathroom clock, and anyway, yeah, that's a thing going on this morning. But as usual, let's see if staff makes it there. 8:30 the lift times, both Vail and Beaver Creek Mountain, for the beginning of our day, and so there should be a little bit of comedy out there. And as far as you getting first chair with this time savings going on right now, maybe someone who's usually out there in time for the lifts to open might not be aware of the time change, and they're going to get it wrong, I think. Well, we lost an hour, so they're going to be there an hour earlier. I think that's how that works. Yeah. And there's a huge debate if we want to keep daylight savings going. I agree with it continuing. What about you, Anthony?
I've been doing this my whole life. Why
Yeah.
do it now?
Yeah. If you change things, like the time, then what time is it really? Who gets to decide? That's how I feel. Hey, Trisha Swenson and her husband, Mike. Good to see you both. Come on in. Come on in here. Yeah, I could use a co-host this morning. Let's give her a phone. All right, so let's take a look at the weather right now. Brought to you by the outlets at Silverthorne, where you can find your savings on name brands such as what I'm wearing this morning, Eddie Bauer. And what we're finding weather-wise, for the start of the morning, both Vail, Beaver Creek Mountain, just up and down this I-70 corridor, you're going to find the teens, mid to upper for the start. Now, as we move through today, keeping showers in the forecast, high temperatures hitting areas of the mid-20s. Today, maybe some moisture picking up areas of the 30s, as you can see in some forecasts, and keeping snow in the forecast, you can see right there, daytime accumulation potential 1 to 3 inches possible. Vail and or Beaver Creek overnight snow also remaining in the forecast, 1 to 2 inches possible. And there's your hourly time stamp right there, temperature stamp by the hours to see how it will warm up for you. Are you the kind of person that waits for it to feel warmer out there or brighter before you head out, to at least wait by the slopes? In the next few days, how are things going to be shaping up? Now we're stepping into the second full week of the month of March. St. Patrick's Day is around the corner. And do you play into the St. Patrick's Day thing, you the viewers at home? And how about you, Anthony?
I love it.
You love it?
Got a little Irish in me.
You're part Irish. So what is it about St. Patrick's Day that you're jiving with, that you're saying, I love this holiday? The drinking. The green beers. Trisha's knocking on the door. And the good luck. There you have it. Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on. Trisha Swenson, nice surprise visit this morning. St. Patrick's Day is the topic. What's your take on this? Is that one of your favorite holidays? What do you love about St. Patrick's Day?
What? There's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like?
Well, we'll read Trisha's weekend picks.
That's a plug.
Shameless plug. Read Trisha Swenson's Trisha's picks. Okay, we'll take a look at that coming up here shortly. But as we look at the next few days, tomorrow being Monday, keeping moisture and or clouds in our forecast, as well as strong winds, high temperatures hitting almost the 40s in areas, overnight low temperatures, mid to upper teens, lower 20s. Tuesday, Wednesday, warming up just a bit more, and then we're going to find a little bit of a dip in temperature by the time Thursday gets here, but keeping moisture in the forecast. This season has been one of those, but we're talking T-storms. How do you feel about that? I love the moisture, but it kind of changes the vibe for our season now that it starts to warm up in March. We start to get that rain-snow mix. The quality of the snow changes, which also turns into how those should turn to maintenance of the gear, which would be a spring Ski Wax. Anyway, that's a look at your weather, brought to you by the outlets of Silverthorne. But even looking around the state of Colorado, a lot of clouds today around northern Rockies, southern Rockies, even east and west of us. Down in the Front Range today, picking up some clouds and the mid to upper 40s. The northeastern corner picking up a little bit of sunshine to go with that. Different weather pattern you're going to find there. But that's a look at the weather again, brought to you by the outlets at Silverthorne. What do you want to do right now, Anthony? Should we go to break so we can talk to Trisha Swenson off camera?
Do it.
All right, we're going to go to break, and we're going to see if we can get a cameo from Trisha.
Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and watch Vail Valley Latino. Our goal is to elevate the voices of the Latino community in the Eagle River Valley and provide a platform to speak with local businesses, organizations, entrepreneurs, creatives, and much more. Find the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Outside Television Channel 17. We are Vail Valley Latino. Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and watch Vail Valley Latino. Our goal is to elevate the voices of the Latino community in the Eagle River Valley and provide a platform to speak with local businesses, organizations, entrepreneurs, creatives, and much more. Find the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Outside Television Channel 17. We are Vail Valley Latino.
Welcome to Nap Harvest. We are showcasing healthy habits, and you can start right here feeding your family healthy organic vegetables and fruits that are seasonal and local. They're all the way from Arizona with our wonderful, beautiful citrus fruits that we sneak across the border for. But don't forget our nap mushrooms, grown at 9,000 feet. Mushrooms are chock full of benefits for you. And then also the microgreens, also chock full of vitamins. Come see us at Nap Harvest in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 4.
Back to Vail Valley Live. Ty Diaz sitting in the high chair, the hot seat as we call it. The high chair when it's like a high desk this is from my radio days. I've spent more than half my life on the radio, and so a setup at a radio station would have like a standing table for the dashboard and stools. So when I mentioned the high chair, that was a radio thing. The hot seat is when you're sitting in this chair, which is why most of the staff regards this as the hot seat, and that's what I'm doing, sitting in the hot seat right now. Looking at the time, where has it gone? It happens. 6:42 is what this clock says right now in front of me, this old analog clock over here, but it is daylight saving, and we're looking at the time being 7:42, that window, give or take a minute, according to your device. You're probably wondering what made headlines. Let's take a look at what made headlines in today's Vail Daily for the 12th of March, 2023, your Sunday Fun Day. Schifrin stands alone. Yep, a decade of dominance comes full circle in Sweden as Michaela Schifrin snaps Stenmark's 34-year-old's record with her 87th win. And this is big talk even in our state news. The newscasters down in the Front Range talking about this. And the celebration is huge, as you can see this. And Michaela's just been kind of just cleaning house with this industry of hers, and I'm really proud of her for this sport. Now, my niece and nephews, I would love for them to have been a part of the Ski and Snowboard Club Vail Academy. A lot of talent coming out of that program. As you can see, the American claims all-time wins record at the site of her first World Cup win in 2012 or 2012. And our second topic, skiing the trees. Is the trees the bee's knees? Am I saying that right? That's kind of a funny one. Who's responsible for this article? This is Maddie Weinhold. That was fun, Maddie. There is something special about recreating among the giants that provide life to all the inhabitants of the mountains, skiing the trees. That's a fun thing to do. In my years of being an instructor for this resort, Vail Resorts and Vail Associates, when we teach the tree level riding for skiing and snowboarding, one of the many things that's a mnemonic, something to remember, to focus on the opening, not the obstacle, because trees don't move but that's also the name of a local band. And I bet you those kids who grew up here that formed that band, Trees Don't Move, probably have ski and snowboard instructors as parents for where they got that name from. It's like, that's a catchy name to help people remember how to ski and snowboard the trees, focusing on the opening, not the obstacle. You can find this topic, Skiing the Trees is the Bee's Knees, on page A2 in today's Vail Daily. Thanks, Maddie, for that fun little title there. And our third topic, Russell's, the Vail Village's neighborhood steakhouse. Love this place. This one over here, they serve up an amazing seafood, the king crab, Spanish octopus, shrimp, olive, avocado, tomatoes served with a spicy lavish. This looks like an amazing dish, and I love going to this restaurant because of their surf and turf. You can find Russell's right there on Bridge Street, right at the covered bridge. They actually have a in-town Bridge Street or Vail Village delivery via bicycle if you're wanting to order takeout and have it brought to wherever it is that you're staying between Vail Village and Lion's Head. A buddy of mine, Colin, actually rides the bikes for them. And our fourth topic, Hanging Lake in winter, a nerve-wracking hike. And I believe it. I've seen some posts, even from the photography of people making their way to this very scenery, this ever-popular Hanging Lake just east of us along I-70. And but in the snow, it's a gnarly hike in general just to do, and breathtaking as far as being winded to make it to Hanging Lake just on foot in the summertime. I myself can't imagine doing this hike, and that's what this article is about. Is it beautiful to do this in a 2-foot snowpack? And the article writer here says yes. And did you almost lose your life? Is it dangerous? And the answer is also yes. So you might want to consider leaving that one to experienced hiking like anyone else when it comes to extreme sports now in the wintertime to hike Hanging Lake. To find out more about this topic, it's A14 in today's Vail Daily. And in our fifth topic, arts and entertainment, I'll find it in a second here while you guys go ahead and read ahead of me. Arts and entertainment, wine all the time. This is an article about a company known as Lemon Rock. Jason Hunter is a sommelier, taking his sommelier experience from not just events as a book sommelier to let you know about your pairings with your cuisine, but also bringing it to the private home, taking the chef-to-table experience and sommelier experience to a private booking in your residence. You can find out more about this opportunity and this idea, which I think is kind of awesome, wine all the time, in the arts and entertainment of today's Vail Daily, found on B1. And that's some of the many topics that made headlines in today's Vail Daily. And this was brought to you by the Grand Hyatt at Vail, this newspaper report right there. For your morning commute, dark start to the morning again, still can't get over it. But a beautiful one, too, because of the snow that was laid down on the overnight, kind of lit up the way along Highway 6, areas of I-70 in the dark, some of the first tracks, but even rolling through at about 6:30, 6:45 this morning to get here from the Avon area along I-70. The plows were out. Traffic was a slow go behind them. Some of those cars certainly could have used a better, safer distance behind those plows as they cleaned up the roadways. Very slick these last few days, especially for an evening commute. But as you can see, especially over here on the I-70 area of the Eisenhower Tunnel, eastbound, westbound, some significant movement. A lot of splashing going on in these windshields for areas that are covered with that moisture and snow. Hopefully your vehicle is topped off fuel-wise, the right tires on your car, as well as the reservoir topped off for you to clean your windshield for this commute, as the windshields are going to get quite dirty while you're out there. But as you can see, that's a look at this morning's commute at the start of what this clock says 6:48 this morning, but it's actually 7:48 thanks to daylight savings. That's what's going on right now. If you're heading out on the slopes right now, you're probably wondering a little bit about skiing the trees, but you never know who you might meet on a chairlift ride, as Sean Naylor found with his On the Hill segment.
This is Sean Naylor, here at Walking Vail Dailies on the Hill, and it is March 9th, 2023. It is a sunny, beautiful day out here in Arrowhead, and usually, us on the Hill correspondents, we don't like to go to the same place twice in a season. However, today is a special occasion, because if you remember about a month ago, I was out here doing a video, and I had a reader reach out and a viewer say, "Hey man, that claim that you were on out there in Arrowhead, that's named after me." So I'm gonna go meet up with this mysterious character, hear his story, and do a lap with him on what is evidently his namesake run. And now we are out here on the Arrowhead chairlift with the man himself, Mr. Dan Gallagher. Dan, thank you for joining today.
Thank you for coming.
All right, and you know, this is a very special day because I was explaining to the viewers earlier, we don't usually do On the Hills in the same place twice every year. It's kind of a rule. We're breaking that rule today because you reached out to me after that Arrowhead segment, and you're like, hey, you know that glade that you were on? That was named after me. So I'm so happy to finally meet you in person because this is so cool. We get to meet the namesake of this run, and in the meantime, while we're riding up here, I want to hear your story, Dan. So what brought you to Beaver Creek in the first place?
Well, we were late to becoming ski bums. We got married early and had children early, so we had to work a good bit. But when we retired, we came here about 17 years ago. But we're only here 6 months a year. We do ski season and kind of summer, early fall.
Okay.
And then we go back to Florida and bike, so it's the best of both worlds for us.
Active lifestyle year-round. So are you originally from Florida then?
Yeah.
Nice. And so how did you come about to meet Gary?
Well, you know, I, as many others, are very involved in this Arrowhead Association here. And I kind of was on one of the committees that worked with mountain operations. We've done a lot of trail building in cooperation with Vail Resorts, and we're always trying to see ways we can try to enhance the mountain, at least our little piece of the mountain. And so in the course of that, where Gallagher Glade is right now, the boundary used to be right next to the catwalk. And we just I'd go up every year and I'd ask Gary, what about, you know, moving that rope back? And he'd say, okay, I'll look at it. I'll get the ski patrol to look at it. And then come summer, nothing would happen. And then I'd go back and next summer, and then third summer, say, yeah, you know, they looked at it. They think, yeah, it'd be kind of fun. It'd be good. We probably can do that. And I go next summer, and nothing happened. I said, oh, this year for sure. And then one year it finally happened. And in the course of it, he says, you know, if I do this, I might actually name it after you. It was such a joke. I mean, so it was a real surprise because we have done this little Arrowhead specific map to make it easier for our residents here. And so Jerry Hensel, who runs the association for Vail Resorts, he brings me the new map and he says, look at the map, Dan, look at the map. And I look at the map, you know, and then he said, no, look at the winter side. I went, okay. He said he had to finally point it out, and I said, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, it was, honestly, it's just a monument, I think, to being a pain in the butt. So that's the short, long and short of the whole story.
And being able to find good powder stashes.
Yeah.
It's a testament to that, too.
It was funny, I was on a lift over in Bachelor Gulch, and a young guy on Lifty was having his day off, and he said, boy, there's this glade over here in Arrowhead, there's always powder, and it just never fail. And he says, yeah, it's called Gallagher Glade or something. And I wasn't going to say anything. And my wife was next to me. I was just saying, okay, is he going to bite or not? And then finally I did. It says, yeah, by chance and coincidence, it was named for me. And he just cracked up. He said, I'm going to tell all my buddies, we're going to go over there the next day or two when we have a day off. So it's a fun, but you know, without a doubt, Gary was the guy on this mountain. And it's just tough to have lost him. But and I just knew him for a few years. So all the people who grew up with him here, it's just such a loss. But anyway, he did so much. He was very, very kind to Arrowhead over all the years. So
he was very well loved. You know, and earlier this year we had the dedication of Gary's run, the former double diamond run up on the front face.
Yeah, it's fabulous to have done that. I think I'd love it the way he's got Gary, Addie, because I think, Addie was Gary's boss, right, originally. And so there's a nice circle to that in a way. So.
Absolutely, and you know, it just speaks to Gary how well loved he was, because you know, they're just reminders of him all over this mountain. And you know, to come all the way out here on this far edge of Arrowhead and to have you tell me that Gary was the guy who wrote that name down after you were a pain in his butt for an extensive amount of time.
But he had such a great laugh. He was funny.
How you feel?
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how this goes.
Snow's a little sticky for me, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Let's go for it. All right. Woo! Yeah, buddy. That was awesome.
That's my worst run through it.
We got it all on video.
A little sticky for me.
Oh, that was great. Alright, Joe. It's been a blast, and that one's for you, Gary. This is Sean Vail Daily. We have Stan Gallagher right there. We want to thank you for watching On the Hill.
Joining us now, we have AJ Croce. He will be at the Valar Performing Arts Center on Wednesday, March 15th. It's the Croce Plays Croce show. So we're excited to have him on the show right now. We're bringing him in, and you're calling in all the way from Nashville. Welcome.
I am. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. How long have you lived in Nashville?
About 15 years.
Okay. Yeah, what a great place. You know, musically, I mean, that is such the hub place to be, not only for country music, but lots of different genres. So, yeah, I can imagine you love it there. But let's talk about the upcoming performance at the Valar Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek. It's quite a gem of a theater. Now, have you played here before?
Played all over Colorado, but not there yet. This is the first.
Okay, well, you're going to be treated to, it's a nice intimate theater, horseshoe shaped, very nice for the crowd to get some interaction with you. And will they be able to, or you tell us how the show is going to run?
Well, I like to leave it a little to chance. You know, there needs to be a fair amount of improvisation in every show, and I have a song list, but not necessarily a set list.
Okay.
And so I'll play, of course, I'll play all the hits, but besides that, it's up in the air. You know, this show is really about the connection that I have with my father, his music, and the music that really connects us.
So just kind of that legacy and that legendary music helped you live on. And I understand that there was some songs written for you, Time in a Bottle being one of them. So what does that mean to you?
Well, what does it mean to anyone to have a song written about them or for them by anyone is a real tribute and an honor. You know, it's humbling. The fact that it became a song that was known by the world is even overwhelming.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think it's going to be neat that you'll be able to share some of these stories on the stage, right? You'll be able to take some breaks between the music.
Of course. We don't play straight through. You know, it's a great band. All on stage are Grammy-winning musicians and legendary players. Gary Malaber, who recorded those great records with Van Morrison in the '60s and '70s, and David Berard, who was with Dr. John for so many years, and Patti LaBelle, and my guitar player James Pennebaker, just wonderful players, and they'll go in any direction that I'm willing to take them, which is the most fun, to keep it fresh every night and to throw in new songs and old songs.
Yeah, yeah. Because it sounds like, yeah, some of Jim's songs, some of your songs, and then the different influences that you both had. So it should just be a great night of just all sorts of music. Should be such a great showcase of talent. And you guys are going to be on the road. It looks like you're kind of all over the place before you get to Colorado, anywhere from Louisiana, Rhode Island, and then moving west. So tell us about this tour that you're on right now.
Well, right now it's pretty much all over the map. Tomorrow I'm in Tulsa, and then next I'm flying to New Orleans, and then I'm up in the Northeast, and then back to the Midwest, and then over to you guys in Colorado, and it's pretty crazy. Starting in the fall, I'll be doing a 50th anniversary tour to celebrate my father's 2 albums. 3 albums, really. Don't Mess Around with Jim, Life and Times, and I Got a Name. And we'll play all of the songs that are from those albums and more. And so that tour in the fall will be a little bit more, it'll be a little bit more, I don't know, geographically correct, I should say.
Yeah. Not going to so many different time zones all over. Now, when you're not touring, what are you doing? Are you just still just getting ready and writing more songs? Like, how do you unplug?
Writing, playing, trying to exercise a bit every day, going on walks, reading, writing.
Yeah.
I have an album that I'm recording in May, so been planning for that because it's a little hard to do when you're touring as much as I am.
Yeah.
And just kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last question, any advice, anything that you know now that you would give to your younger self?
I think to not be quite so stubborn. I think I was pretty set in my ways when I was young, and I think had I been a little more open, I would have had more interesting experiences. Not that I haven't had a world of them,
Yeah.
but you can always have more creative and wonderful experiences in this life.
Okay. Good advice. Good advice at any age, AJ. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Well, hey, we're going to let you go. I know you got your busy tour coming up. You're working on things for your album recording in May. So we want to thank you so much for your time. And we can't wait for you to see the Villar. It's such a beautiful venue. We're looking forward to it.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. And this show is going to be on Wednesday, March 15th. Tickets still available, $38, 7 p.m. is showtime. So go to villarpac.org for more information. Surgery, keeping you active.
That's right. You can catch live performances at the Villar in Beaver Creek pretty much any time of year. Family shows, concerts, comedy, Broadway, classical, dance. And you can find brochures like this that gives you the details of upcoming shows, even some of the shows that you've missed. You can kind of read up on and learn about and make plans to catch a show at the Villar. Anthony just asked me what was the last show that I caught at the Villar in Beaver Creek, and I know that I've been there. I just don't remember what the last thing that I saw, but I do remember shows that I've been to before. And it's a memorable experience just to be there at the Villar. You can enjoy your glass of wine or your beer while watching the show. Very intimate setting, and you can catch the AJ Crochet playing crochet on Wednesday, 7 p.m. As Trisha shared with you, tickets are still available, and we'll tell you more about what's coming up at the Villar this week and this month and through the end of the season. But first, let's take a look at the weather, brought to you by Vail Summit Orthopedics. And as we're looking at the start of the morning in the teens, both Vail and Beaver Creek, mid to upper. And as we make our way through the day, keeping moisture and chances of snow in our forecast today, 1 to 3 inches possible daytime snow, 1 to 2 inches possible overnight snow. Bring it. High temperatures in areas of the mid to upper 30s, in fields mid to upper 20s, depending on where you are. But in the flat light is what you're going to find today, and some strong winds, it looks like, also playing into your Sunday fun day today. And also known as is it the 13th already? The 13th of September of March. The next few days, tomorrow being Monday, then there's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, And today's catching me by surprise. I'm going to mention for those of you tuning in right now, daylight saving, 7:04. This clock is still reading, but it's 8:04. As we look at tomorrow, maybe we'll get used to things. The 13th, that's when the 13th is tomorrow. High temperatures with some clouds, almost reaching areas of the 40s as you'll find as the highs. Overnight low temperatures in the 20s. Tuesday, Wednesday, similar numbers, but still climbing into the mid to upper 40s. Tuesday, Wednesday, sunshine possible, bringing the moisture back. Wednesday, Thursday, and more of a chance of snow by the time Thursday gets here as temperatures dip back down into the 30s. Overnight low temperatures in the teens, a nice dance of the teens and the 20s overnights this week. And you're probably wondering what's going on in Beaver Creek. Oh yeah, let's talk about your snow totals. So is it considered a powder day to you? Is it a powder day to me? And you said, Anthony, we received, 10 inches in the past 24 hours over at Beaver Creek Mountain. And here's what we're looking at for the week's accumulation upcoming, which is just looking fantastic right there. By the time Tuesday, Wednesday, we're looking at a foot possible right there, 10 inches possible over at Vail, a foot possible at Beaver Creek. And then your 10-day forecast, those numbers are looking quite strong as we roll through the month of March. And it's amazing to think about this because we're at 37 days remaining at the scheduled, estimated closing date of Beaver Creek, the 17th of April. Maybe they'll extend. We will find out. Although some of us can only cross our fingers. And we're looking at 44 days remaining in Vail's season, estimated to their closing date. Maybe we'll get Tricia Swenson on the line here for this fun conversation. But before closing, how about opening and seeing what's performing on stage at Beaver Creek? Let's take a look at this right now. And we were just talking about AJ Crochet performing crochet at Beaver Creek with Tricia Swenson. But tonight it is Legally Blonde at the Villar Performing Arts Center at Beaver Creek, 7 o'clock. And log on to villarpac.org and we can find Let's see what else is going on out there today. Those are some of the shows at Villar. We still have Thursday Night Lights going on in Beaver Creek. And I believe at the end of this month of March is when we'll catch the last Thursday night free fireworks display right at dusk. Also an opportunity for maybe your family tradition to get signed up with Ski School and be a part of that ski down parade that is followed by the lighting of the sky with fireworks. It's a fun one. I've done that one before. And Anthony, have I ever asked you if you've done the Thursday Night Lights in Beaver Creek? That's a fun one to kind of mark. It's fun. You know about it, right? Do you?
I do. I need to get out there, get some shots of it at some point.
Chocolate chip cookies every day at 3 o'clock. And but what pairs well with cookies? Coffee. Let's take a look at our next segment. Coffee with Ellen Miller.
Here we are at Yeti's Grind in Edwards. It's time for Legends and Locals, and we wanted to introduce you to Ellen Miller, who's been in the Vail Valley for about 3 decades, but she has reached heights all over the world. Ellen, you've climbed Everest a couple of times from different directions. You've also climbed some of the biggest peaks, Aconcagua, Denali, and you even skied down one big descent in China. Where was this?
Mustagata.
Mustagata. I thought I'd let her say that one. I didn't.
Very blessed.
I didn't know how to pronounce that one. But I mean, you've climbed so many different places around the world, but you call Vail home.
Yes.
What made you move to Vail?
You know, I came back in the, 1990 when Crossroads Shopping Center was there. And I came up to manage a little natural food store that was in Crossroads. It was called Alfalfa's Market.
Yeah.
So that's what originally brought me to Vail.
Where the other Yetis grind is.
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
Oh, by the way,
absolutely.
What are you drinking?
I'm having
Cheers.
mocha because I like to combine all kinds of great things like chocolate and coffee.
I'm having the Little Bear tea, which is pretty delicious. All right, but back to business. So you came to Vail, but you were still pursuing all these different endeavors. How do you train for Everest?
You know, the great thing about living in Vail is training was so easy to access before work, after work, in the middle of the night. I was so lucky to always, and I still work basically at the base of Vail Mountain. So I have I have 3,000 feet right there, vertical to train on, whether in the summer or in the winter on snow. And then I've been fortunate that I met other Vail locals that got me into all kinds of exciting things like adventure racing and things like that.
Oh yeah, I know. Do you remember the Eco Challenge, everyone? She was on the team with our other locals. Which team was that with? Mike Closer?
I was with Closer, Andre Bozell, Billy Madison.
Oh, yeah.
That old group.
Dream team. Perfect.
We had fun. Those were fun days.
And you know, when you were on Everest, were you ever scared?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, even if you're not scared at the moment of the height, you're scared. Am I frostbiting my toes? Are my hands okay?
What I think is so interesting is you retired from all the adventure racing, the big, huge climbs, but your heart is still on the trail.
It is. You know, I still like to do little local races, and I'll always be a mountain climber. But as I've gotten older, I'm almost 64, I've kind of taken those experiences and tried to think about how I can give back to the community that has supported me for so long, you know. And I spend a lot of time now volunteering out on the trails for the town of Vail, for the Vail Valley Mountain Trails Alliance, and for the Eagle Summit Wilderness Alliance.
Okay, and the Vail Valley Mountain Trails Alliance, they give you an award. You were the 2021 Volunteer of the Year. You also won the Colorado Sportswoman of the Year back in 2002. Lots of accolades, but she's so humble. You know what, when you meet her on the trail, and she's like, oh, do you need some assistance? Do you have any questions? You have no idea that you're talking to a woman that's climbed Everest a couple of times. But what do you love most about interacting with the public and kind of just propelling the sport of hiking forward?
Well, I love giving back to my community by volunteering, and I love interacting with the public at the trailheads by educating them. On, you know, when the pandemic came, Tricia, our trails were inundated, and a lot of folks that maybe didn't know about trail etiquette or wildlife policy, or, you know, picking up trash or navigation or things like that, they were new to the trails. So it's fun to stand out there and to be able to educate them about for example, our 5 wilderness trailheads there in East Vail. They are gems, you know. Or being a trail host for the town of Vail and welcoming people to Vail, making sure they had what they needed for their hike. And then for the the Vail Valley Trail Alliance, I stand at the seasonal wildlife closure gates and I tell people about the importance of not going into those closed areas because they're basically maternity wards for deer and elk.
You know, keep them in a safe environment. They were here first.
That's right. That's right. We're here in their home. So.
No, when you were younger, did you ever think you'd be doing this? Like, what advice would you give your younger self?
I grew up in a family, we were outdoorsy, and my parents were always involved in their communities. So I think the advice to give, that I would continue to give myself now is just one foot in front of the other. I mean, that's what got me up big mountains in the world, and it's how I've proceeded to age. You know, I feel so blessed that I can age here in the Vail Valley. It's such a healthy lifestyle. It's just keep moving forward.
Okay, keep moving forward, 1 foot in front of the other. That's the advice from Ellen Miller. Well, Ellen, thank you so much. Let's drink our hot drinks before they get cold.
Luxury resort in Vail.
Man, that was an interesting topic Trisha Swenson had right there with Ellen Miller, and all things about this life being outside. That's what it's all about. Yeah, enjoying the weather and the scenery and the views, the location and the clean air and the views and the activity and just more of that, and just fulfilling life's goals and making things complete. Yeah, and speaking of that, how about you? Today, in this weather, we're going to find out what it's going to be shaping up like for you for the start of the morning. Daylight saving, I know I'm still talking on that, but it's kind of important. I mean, if you have to go to work or hit the slopes, or maybe someone that lives with you should have been at work by now. Yeah, it's 8:14, not 7:14. If you have those old analog clocks like the one I'm looking at in here, 7:14. It's time. It's been time. We lost an hour in a way to look at it that way as far as sleep is concerned, taking some of us by surprise. But temperature-wise, pretty comfortable out there. Those starting the morning off in the teens, both Vail and Beaver Creek. A darker start to the morning. Sunrise this morning was 20 after 7, coming up here shortly. Sunrise actually happened already. I'm still fooling myself with this daylight saving. And sunset, 7:08. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. Temperatures hitting areas of the mid to upper 20s, some areas and fields the 30s at Vail, and snow in the forecast for today, your Sunday fun day. We're looking for 1 to 3 inches possible. Daytime accumulation, 1 to 2 inches. Overnight snow possible. And the next few days, keeping snow in the forecast, but warming up. Someone said to me yesterday, Ty, it was like a strange day. This was Saturday, yesterday. It's a strange day. It was like raining and then snow. I'm like, yeah, that's March. But we still have the moisture, though. And maybe that'll make for some great rafting this summer. But the next few days, we're looking for temperatures to certainly warm up. We're looking for the 40s, but still keeping that mix of snow or rain, give or take the day in our forecast. So here's our Monday. Tomorrow, the 13th of March. High temperatures hitting areas of the mid to upper 30s, 40s in fields, depending on where you are. Snow chance right there, slight. No overnight snow in the forecast. Anything could change, but they're definitely talking about the winds. Think about that as reality hits tomorrow. Maybe that'll impact how your day will be spent on the slope, strong winds or not. Tuesday, more sunshine. Looking for the return of that. High temperatures, warmer, sunnier. And I've been walking around, give or take, going to the store without a jacket on, like a hoodie, instead of being bundled all the way up, face mask and all. Yeah. And what's that? Getting brave. And one of my buddies at work, my other gig, he's getting the raccooning, the sun on the face, so the goggle tan thing, looking kind of red and burned in the lower face or tanned, and then not so much around the goggles area. So that's going to be for anyone else by the time Tuesday gets here. But your snow chances are kind of sitting inside of there. For the week, we're looking for a foot possible for Beaver Creek of snowfall, accum, and 10 inches possible for Vail. As we look at our Wednesday, Thursday, again, still looking at areas of the 40s, and then a dip in temperature dropping back down to the 30s, I think, on Thursday, and bringing that increased chance for snow. And Thursday, that's the 16th of March. Friday would be the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Let's take a look at the roads right now for your morning commute. Now that it's brighter out, what will we see? Shoulder, median snow. Think about that. We're also looking at warmer temperatures on the snow versus overnight freeze. Makes for hazardous driving conditions. Also think about that, thinking ahead. But having your reservoir topped off, a lot of splashback going on, a lot of movement on the roads this morning, and especially for your Sunday fun day, we normally find anyone that's in the mountains making their way back to the Front Range for the return, the end of their weekend getaway, weekend warriors. But look at that right there, Vail Pass, shoulder and median snow, some in the roads as well, flat light for the drive and moisture as you climb an elevation to that 10,000 foot, 11,000 foot for that morning commute. Eisenhower Tunnel over at Loveland Ski Area, the gaps are filling in over there. Yeah, someone got the memo about business as usual, but an hour earlier, I know. I bet there was a lot of people sleeping in that carpool. But we're seeing the medians. We're seeing the semis on the roadways driving slower. A lot of safety precautions to take in, and always consider when you're driving through the mountains right there. Looking at the bottom of the screen, that's what's groomed on Vail Mountain. We'll be sharing with you a little bit about what's groomed on Beaver Creek Mountain. But if you want to learn a little bit about what's going on with local hockey, we just had that segment at Yeti Grind, the coffee shop with Ellen Miller and Tricia Swenson. How about Yeti Hockey at the Dobson Ice Arena? And Anthony, you were sharing with me that we're coming up. While you enjoy the wine and spirits provided there for you, as well as the hot dogs and the pretzels. My favorite part about the game, is when you're standing in line for concession, right against the glass. Those guys are kind of like slamming against the glass over there, catching you off guard over there. Don't miss out on catching Vail Yeti hockey while you're out there. But, dressing up for the day, for hockey and or for a look or style, not too far from here, east of us, Vail Pass to the summit. After Frisco brings you to Dillon Silverthorne, you'll find the outlets at Silverthorne. And there you'll find many name brands like Eddie Bauer, what I'm wearing, as well as Under Armour. What do they have for you in store at the outlets of Silverthorne from Under Armour? Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the outlets at Silverthorne. I'm here today to share with you some amazing looks from Under Armour. And first, before we get started, be sure and pick up your savings card booklet at the Colorado Welcome Center. It's totally free because at Under Armour, you can save an additional 25% off one item. So now, let's see the fabulous fashions. Rachel. Rachel's here in her black stormproof and warm puffer jacket. She has her pink cold gear layer on, her fitted black tie-dye leggings. She also has her black around town gloves, love them, and she has her Sonic shoes. Whole outfit would be $438, comes to $237. Rachel's gonna save $200.91, all from Under Armour. Thanks, Rachel. And next comes Enza. Enza's looking fabulous in her iridescent pink insulated coat. Super warm and super cute. She's got her black and white stripe 3/4 zip top on. She has her black and white leggings, her pigtail hat, of course, all around town gloves, and her infinite shoes. Whole outfit would be $319, comes to $176. Enza is saving $143. Thanks, Enza. And now, it's all up to you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth has on the cutest outfit. She's got her aqua teal infrared cold gear hoodie on. She also has her fabulous teal turtleneck on. She has her fun seafoam headband. She has her compressed leggings, which I love, so comfy. Her round town mittens and her platinum charged Rogue running shoes. Whole outfit would be $458, comes to $244. She's saving $213. Way to go, Elizabeth. Looking great. And Maddie. So Maddie has on one of my favorites. She's got her cold gear black vest on, super stylish and super warm. She also has her pink 3/4 zip cold gear top on. She has her mauve compression tights on. She has her knit hat, her knit all around town gloves, and her charged Gemini shoes. $363 retail, $193 outlet. She's saving $169.90. Thank you, Maddie. And next we have Yandel. Yandel. Hello, Yandel. Here he is. He's in Under Armour. He's got his cold gear insulated hoodie coat on. He has his graffiti hoodie on. His sweatpants, his yellow beanie, his charged yellow shoes, which are all right now, 2 for $80. Oh my gosh. His backpack which is buy one, get one at 80% off. So his whole outfit would be $322, comes to $167 right here at Under Armour Outlet, saving $154. Thanks, Yandel. Okay, Anna Nicole, here you go, girl. She's got on one of my favorite coats ever. It's a pink faux fur hoodie jacket, her purple abstract hoodie. She has her black legging, her black striped beanie and gloves, and her Pursuit shoes. Again, 2 for $80 for the shoes. $225 retail, comes to $134. She's saving $90. Thanks, Anna Nicole. And now Marina. Marina's here, and one of my favorites too, because it's all part of the Project Rock movement. She has her fleece jacket on, which is a gorgeous color of gray blue. Her Project Rock tee, she has her Project Rock compression burgundy print leggings, her Project Rock hat, her maroon tote bag, and her cutting edge innovative shoes. Whole outfit would be $475, comes to $300. Oh my goodness, she's saving $175. Looking great, Marina, and thanks to Project Rock. These are some of the great examples of savings you can find every day at the outlets at Silverthorne.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery is kind of a one-stop shop. We have everything in-house.
We have cast techs, MRI machines, x-ray of course right at the clinic, physical therapy right at our clinic.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what your diagnosis is with all the resources we have, and that's what we do.
Look at the time, look at the time. What's with the time? How do you feel about daylight saving? Is that going to be the conversation for most of today with you? I'm used to this conversation depending on who you work with, or if it's you that we just didn't know it was going to happen, man. Every year right around this time, which caught me by surprise this time. Looking at the time, 7:26. But it's actually 8:26. And at the bottom of the screen, you're looking at the crawl on Beaver Creek Mountain, and they called 10 inches in the past 24 hours of new snowfall. And from the folks that I spoke to that were on the slopes yesterday, they said, man, it wasn't crowded at all. Didn't have to wait in any lines. The conditions were amazing, fantastic, fun. Yeah, you got out there. I won't be able to get out there, I don't think, until Tuesday, Wednesday. Want to meet up? Let's make plans. As we look at Vail the past 24 hours, what did they call? Let's see here. We're looking at 1 inch of snow. Okay, so there's the numbers from Vail and Beaver Creek. It says here 3 in the past 24 at Beaver Creek. So I guess they're looking at yesterday's totals and today to populate that 10. So we're looking at that. So that's 48 hours, I guess, would be 10 inches in the past 48 hours. Vail called 1 inch, keeping snow in the forecast this week. As temperatures, though, still warm up into the 40s by middle of the week. Thursday, a dip in temperature, and that's where we're going to see that significant snow as far as looking at the weather is concerned. Today, we're going to keep the flat light around, it looks like, but still get out there and enjoy lifts opening here in the next 3 minutes, both Vail and Beaver Creek Mountain to enjoy. And on your smart device, if you keep a phone with you, you can go to both Vail or Beaver Creek's website, and there you'll find what's groomed on Vail and Beaver Creek Mountain. You could also learn the levels of difficulty of the terrain while you're out there, especially if you're new to the area. What's new chairlift-wise on both Vail and Beaver Creek Mountain, and just make a plan to, get after as much of it as you can and having a little bit of fun. You'll also find the skier snowboarder responsibility code on both of their websites, letting you know about safety on the slopes so you can share with strangers and friends, or just make as an ongoing conversation. It's kind of like being a backseat driver when you're on the slopes, when you talk to your friends about safety all the time. The goal is to keep everyone safe and in the know out on the slopes. And speaking of in the know, the estimated closing dates for both Vail and Beaver Creek for this season, 2023, now that we're at this point in the month of March, in April, they're looking at the estimated closing date of the 17th of April for Beaver Creek. That's right. Your bundling up winter gear yet to the more spring fashion, the crazy costume being a dinosaur or like the sumo wrestler costume on the slopes, maybe like a superhero, Green Goblin. What's your change of the look on the slopes so that we can recognize you? A unicorn, maybe a band of friends in a bunch of onesies. We're looking to recognize you out there, but also changing out. Maybe you're not one to maintain your gear. We're in that spring type of a condition on the slopes. The weather, the snow texture and conditions, the quality has changed from cold and bitter winter to more of that wetter condition. So maybe scope out a spot to get your ski and snowboard waxed for more of a spring type of a snow quality while you're out there. I tend to bring my gear to Christie Sports in Beaver Creek. Those guys up there, the staff, friendly and approachable and fun. And they put a mean tune on my board's edges and the new wax all together. Now, let's talk about the roads. How about the tires on your car? Are you ready for this commute? Are you heading back towards the Front Range? It's a wet drive. It's a flat light drive while you're out there. It's going to be a messy one, too, all over your car, the side of your vehicle, as well as on the windshield. So before you hit the roads, maybe stop off at a service station and get that reservoir filled up with that blue or pink solution so that you could spray your windshield for this long 2, 3, 4 hour drive commute. Vehicles in front of you splashing up the road. Just that lower ground to windshield atmosphere makes for a messy drive out there. But also be aware of your safe distance between one another out there as well. Because as you see that climb at Vail Pass into the summit, climbing to that 10 and 11,000 foot level and towards the end, you'll experience a varied of road conditions as you can see out there. That paired with increased traffic, it's a hazardous drive out there for your Sunday out there, so to speak. But we certainly appreciate you tuning in with Vail Valley Live with us every morning as you have been and sharing with your friends how to do so. And once again, another reminder, Facebook, YouTube, that's how you can catch this show. And hit the like button, subscribe. And 5 minutes or so before the show starts, a notification will let you know that the show is starting. And then you just go right on over to your YouTube over there, your handle, your profile, and say, good morning, we're watching. We're in Chicago. And Anthony, where's one of your farthest away friends living, maybe another country? Do you have any friends that live in another country that watch Vail Valley Live?
Not in another country, but
yeah?
We should start plugging it internationally. I like that.
You can watch the show. If you're leaving, you can catch the show. Take us with you in your pocket. Fly it on a plane. You can also watch the replays on YouTube as well. But look at the time. Once again, 8:31, daylight saving. Get out and have some fun. Be safe out there, and we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning for Vail Valley Live. But until then, enjoy today.